And I'll just go through some logistics first before we get into our presentation. So for today's webinar, we're going to have everybody on mute to begin. And please share any questions that you have using the chat box. And you'll find the chat box at the top right corner of your screen. And we'll get to questions at the question and answer period. And if we don't get to them, we'll send out the answers at the end of the session. And if you would like to ask a question but not have it visible to the other attendees, then you can send an email to events@prospercanada.org. And if you require closed captioning, you'll see at the top right-hand menu that you can click on the three dots that you see there, and then there'll be a word more, and under it you can select language and speech, and then turn on live captions. And we'll also share the webinar slides with all participants, and we are recording today's session, so there'll be a recording as well available afterwards. So now I'm going to introduce my colleague David Ike and myself. Uh, we're both senior program officers at Prosper Canada, and we're both in the program delivery and integration department. And David focuses on technology-enabled financial empowerment solutions, which of course includes the Benefits Wayfinder. And I work with community partners to help embed financial empowerment initiatives into their existing services. And I've also been closely involved in the development of the Benefits Wayfinder and also the Disability Benefits Compass, which we're going to show you today as well. But first, we'd like to begin by acknowledging that we are joining you from Toronto, which is situated upon traditional territories. The territories include the Wendat, the Anishinaabeg Nation, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, the Mississaugas of the New Credit First Nations, and the Métis Nation. And Toronto is in the Dish with One Spoon territory. The Dish with One Spoon is a treaty between the Anishinaabe, Mississaugas, and Haudenosaunee that bound them to share the territory and protect the land. Subsequent Indigenous nations and peoples, Europeans, and all newcomers have been invited into this treaty in the spirit of peace, friendship, and respect. Today, the meeting place of Toronto is still the home to many Indigenous people from across Turtle Island, and we are grateful to have the opportunity to work in the community on this territory. So next, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Prosper Canada, in case you haven't heard of us. We were founded in 1986, and we're a national charity, and we're dedicated to expanding the economic opportunity for Canadians who are living in poverty. And as Canada's leading financial empowerment champion, we work with partners in all sectors to ensure that Canadians, regardless of what their income is, have access to financial programs, products, services, and advice that they need to build their financial well-being. So we have an exciting presentation for you today. We'll go over our goals for the session and why these tools were created. We'll share with you the Benefits Wayfinder and how it works. And we're going to be using a case study persona, so to demonstrate the different features and how you could use it either individually or with someone you might be supporting. And we'll also give you an introduction to the recently launched tool, which is a companion tool to Benefit Wayfinder, the Disability Benefit Compass. And it's a deeper dive on 4 of the key disability benefits in Canada. And we'll also tell you a few different ways you can use the Benefit Wayfinder, also including tax clinics. And as mentioned, we'll try to have some time at the end for questions and answers, but if we do run out of time, please do put them in the chat and we will answer all questions for sure afterwards if we don't get to them. I would also like to, as we're going through the presentation, we like to think about what benefits you feel are most important either for yourself or for those that you are supporting. And as we navigate the tool, think about how you might use the tool, again, either for yourself or with someone else that you might be helping to access benefits. So our goals for today is how you might use the Benefit Wayfinder and the Disability Benefit Compass, either for yourself or to help someone else find benefits, learn how to apply for them, and where to go for help if needed. and also learn about ways that you can integrate benefits access with tax filing supports. So just for a little bit of context on why exactly were the Benefit Wayfinder and the Disability Benefit Compass tools created? Well, really three main reasons: missed income, complex processes, and frontline need. So for missed income, I'm sure a lot of you may be aware that over $1 billion in benefits for people living on low and moderate income in Canada go unclaimed every year. It's quite shocking. And they're missing out on the income either not by filing taxes or not accessing benefits that they might be eligible for. They may not even be aware that these benefits exist or even that they are eligible to receive them. And of course, not getting these benefits can have negative impacts on not only their financial lives, but it can extend also across to their health, can impact their housing and the type of food they might be able to afford to eat. So kind of a holistic view on what happens if they don't get their benefits. And also, as you know, over the COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of people either lost their jobs or are trying to make back that money that was lost during that time frame. Complex processes. For those of you who may have either applied for benefits for yourself or you've helped others apply for benefits, you know that it can often be a quite complex process, especially disability benefits, where there could be many steps needed to apply, and you might have to go and get multiple medical practitioners to complete forms. So it's not terribly simple for people who also might have a challenge in either cognitively or physically to be able to access the benefits. And then also frontline need. There's really a great demand for one-on-one help with money topics and especially accessing benefits. And Prosper Canada had teamed up with many partners, including the predecessor benefit screening tool, and have learned over those many pilots exactly what was needed. And those enhancements have been put into the tool that we're going to show you today. So what exactly is the Benefits Wayfinder? So it's an online tool and it can help Canadians who are living on low and moderate incomes find and track benefits they could get. It's very simple to use. It has intuitive navigation, and either yourself or staff at an organization can use it as a virtual guide, and it was written in plain language. It has information on benefits people might be eligible to receive, and it includes federal, provincial, and territorial government information and benefits. And you can think of it as a one-stop resources. And in the pilots that were done previously, people would like to go to one place and find the most important benefits. And as you probably have experienced yourself, all that information is on the government website, but you might have to go to multiple different sites to search for benefits, and you might miss them. So we have it all in one spot, and there's 4 different ways that you can search for benefits. You don't have to just do a questionnaire, and David will take you through that later. And it can be used individually by people, or it can be used by staff who are helping support someone else navigate the benefits process. And we'd just like to thank our sponsor, our primary sponsor, TD Ready Commitment, for their generous funding for the development of this tool. As well, it's also being generously supported by Maple Leaf Feed Opportunity, the Center for Food Security. So I'm going to take you through our persona for today. We're going to introduce you to Aisha, and we're going to be using Aisha's information, and David will be walking through to show you how you can use the Benefit Wayfinder to help Aisha find what benefits she may be eligible for and how she would go about looking at them and deciding what ones might be applicable. So I'm going to read through Aisha's information, and I'll ask David to bring up the Benefit Wayfinder tool as I walk you through and introduce you to Aisha. So Aisha lives in Ontario. She's married. She's a mother of 2 young children, one who has a disability. She's a permanent resident of Canada. She's employed part-time, but she's looking for full-time work. Together, their household income is just under $25,000 a year, and she's not up to date on filing her income taxes. Her main worry is being able to pay her rent and all the bills. And in the future, if she gets full-time work, she might need to get childcare. So I'm going to pass it over to David, who's going to take you through the Benefit Wayfinder.
Yeah, thank you, Janet. Yeah, so welcome to the Benefits Wayfinder tool. The objective of this tool is to help Canadians find different types of benefits in one particular location. So the way the tool works is that when you come on the tool, basically you go on Benefit Wayfinder, check it out on Google, and it will bring you to this location, to where the tool is. And interestingly, what it does, subject to your location, it will prompt you to select which province you are your 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 kind of where where you're based, whether so for this particular demo, Aisha is based in Ontario. So if you notice, we have different territories and province. So I'm going to select Ontario for Aisha's location. The objective is that the tool would then be able to, when you search through, it will be able to get you benefits that are within your province or your territory. You know, so there are different features on the tool that helps you, navigate which benefits are most appropriate for you. So the tool is intuitive, and it's structured in such a way that we have different starting points. As you can see on here, once you come on the landing page, we have different starting points. And the idea behind the starting points are it's points at different transitions that, the average Canadian will be going through, that will warrant them wanting to use the benefit wayfinder, or warrant them to want to apply for benefits. So we have a host of starting points here. We have starting points for people who are already receiving benefits. We have starting points for people who are not receiving benefits. Then we have specific starting points as to your, people's likely transition position that will require them to apply for benefits, and help them know that benefits are available for people who are in this situation. Like Janet said, we have the government has over 1.7, 1.8 billion, on the table every year that is gone unclaimed, and people can use this, especially since the COVID and other events, and the inflation that's been, running rampage lately. So yeah, so you come on the site. These are starting points. For instance, if Aisha is already receiving benefits, she can come here and say, "Yes, I'm already taking benefits." You know, and the interesting thing about the two, because Aisha is taking benefits, if you're receiving benefits, it can be a gateway to other benefits. So, for instance, if Aisha is receiving the Ontario Disability Support Program, it's a benefit, and she says yes, clicks yes, that she's receiving it. You see, automatically, this gives Aisha unlocks other benefits because she's already receiving the Ontario Disability Support Program. You know, so it unlocks seven other benefits. So receiving one benefit can be a gateway to getting other benefits. So because Aisha is receiving that benefit, you see, she's eligible for other benefits. So that's one way you can use the tool. Let me clear this session. Then also, because Aisha stays in Ontario, she can then say, I'm not receiving benefits. And there are key benefits, subject to your territory and your province, and that they are all on here. So Aisha can look through and see which benefits are most suited for her, you know, because she's not receiving, and there are key benefits that she might be eligible for. That's one preliminary way of looking at it, or searching through the tool. There are tons of ways, So other ways are, picking which particular starting point applies to your situation. Then starting, so there are different ways of navigating the tool. Either you come on the front page, that's the landing page, and select which starting point applies to you. Or you can come here. There are different features, different accessible features based on how you want to use the tool. Or you can come to the top left stroke middle of the tool, and we have different headings and icons. So we also have the starting point, so you can check your starting points from here. We will all even have starting points for people who need support with filing taxes, because like you might know, filing taxes, it's a major gateway to receiving benefits, and can be a barrier to receiving benefits. Many benefits are tied to having filed taxes, so we have a starting point for that. Yeah. So since we started, I've been talking about starting points, right? Yeah. So then you can also search the tool using questionnaire, which is what we're going to use today. For me, I prefer the questionnaire, and I advise somebody who is not in a hurry to let do the starting point first. Because the starting point, it will help somebody who is looking to assess benefits, explore all the benefits that might be available to them. Because the idea before this questionnaire is that it will ask different questions that are geared to helping the tool find out which areas that you might be eligible to seek benefits, right? That you might not be aware, but the questions are designed to track which areas you might be eligible to receive benefits. But when you use just the starting points are a bit narrow. Like if somebody says they're caring for a child, but they might also be eligible for other benefits, for like housing benefits, other disability benefits, So that's the gap that this questionnaire tries to breach by, when you take your time to answer between 8 to 13 questions, the tool will now be able to bring for you different benefits that are applicable to your situation. Then another way of looking at the tool is on here is called browse all benefits. If, for instance, Aisha doesn't know where to start, is not quite sure, she can decide to go through all the benefits, using all the benefits. Or if Aisha, for instance, has a particular benefit in mind that she wants to look for, she can come here and type in the name of the benefits, and it will be displayed, and she can get information on what the benefit is about, how what is the eligibility, and how she can apply, because these are the key things that the tool tries to give to its users. So for today, like I said earlier, we'll be using the questionnaire to go through our personal Aisha. And yes, let's get straight to that. Janet, are you able to play the role of Aisha today?
Yeah, I'm ready, David.
Thank you so much. So yeah, so Aisha, are you up to date with your taxes?
No, I haven't filed my taxes yet.
Okay. Aisha, how old are you?
I'm 28.
28. Okay, thank you. Aisha, what is your citizen status in Canada?
I'm a permanent resident of Canada.
All right, thank you. Aisha, are you working, or where does your income come from?
I work right now part-time, but I'm hoping to work
Part-time.
full-time at some point.
Thank you. Um, Aisha, how much does everyone in your household together make in 1 year?
Around 23,000.
23,000. Thank you. Aisha, including yourself, how many people live in your home?
There's 4 of us in total.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Aisha, do you care for any children under the age of 18?
Yes, I have 2 young daughters.
Two young daughters. Okay. Aisha, are you or anyone in your household living with a disability?
Yes, one of my daughters is living with a disability.
Ah, see. Aisha, where do you live? Are you renting or you living on social housing, on your own home? Or yeah,
Right now we're renting.
you're renting. Okay, I see. Thank you. Aisha, are you pregnant or expecting by any chance?
No,
Okay, sorry. Okay. Aisha, what's your length of stay in Canada since the age of 18?
just around 9 years.
Just around 9 years. Okay, I see that. Aisha, are you, your parents, or your spouse a Canadian veteran?
No,
No. Okay. Aisha, do you have a parent or spouse who had lived in Canada and passed away?
no.
Okay. Thank you. So yeah, we have 41 benefits that's been suggested to Aisha. So Aisha, it's like so this is 41, lots of benefits. So if Aisha had just used the starting point, she would not have gotten this many benefits. She would have just been narrowed to specific types of benefits. So considering that she has 41, that's a lot. So yeah. So that's a high chance that she might be eligible to some of them, you know, because all benefits are subject to eligibility. So at this point, what we would do would click on the my dashboard, and yeah, so it brings you to the dashboard. The dashboard is it's a landing page where all the 41 benefits that the tool was able to generate for Aisha, it's hosted. So these are the benefits. So subject to the questions that Aisha had answered, you know, benefits have been suggested. Each benefit has a mini landing page. So when I say mini landing page, it shows very very quickly what the name of the benefit is, what's briefly what it means, or what the benefit is about, how easy it is to apply, very importantly, how much you are likely to get, per month, per year, whether you need to file tax, and what identification requirements are needed, and other features that can be used, for the for searching through the particular benefits. So you see mini landing pages so if we keep going, there are 41 whole benefits, and Aisha doesn't need to go through all of them at the same time. This document can be stored, and I'll show you how to do it. So let's say, for instance, Aisha is interested in the Canada Learning Bond. Okay, she can go in here, and each benefit has an introductory um, uh, part of it. So the introduction of the benefit gives you a detailed explanation of what the benefit is about. Gives you a good highlight of what the benefit can do for you and how you can access it. Then primarily each benefit will give you a link to the government website where you can eventually go and apply for the benefit. So a link to the source page where we got this benefits from. And the beautiful thing about the tool is, on the tool, the language is simplified and made very accessible to everybody, compared to what you find on the government page. So after you're done from here, you get a very clear picture of what the benefit is about. Then you can then click on the link, and it will take you to the government page where you can eventually apply. Then the next thing you'll see on each benefit is the eligibility criteria written in plain, accessible English, and the links to further understanding of the eligibility. Then we have the identification requirement for each benefit, and we also have links and explanations of how you can apply, for each benefit. So that is it. Let's go back. Then on each of the mini landing pages, because we have 41 benefits, Aisha, like I said, this document can be saved through a URL that I'll show you how to use, or Aisha can print it out, or can save it into your computer, you know. So Aisha might decide to go through the whole 41 benefits. And for each one, if you want to prioritize how it is shown to you, if you say hi, it will be shown to you, so when you come back, either through your link that will be given to you, for future use, this Canada Learning Board would be prioritized as high for you, you know, then since because Aisha has seen this, if she wants to make a note that she has looked at this Canada Learning Board, you can do that by marking as seen. These are very exciting features on the tool. And if, for instance, Aisha is already receiving the Canada Learning Bond, she can also say remove. So it will not be on display anymore. You see, it's no longer here. And it now goes to the left top corner of the tool. You see it's here, remove benefit. And if she wants to bring it back, she can click on here and it's back here, and she can come back to it. Yeah. Yeah. So she can come back to it and it's back. Maybe she wants to bring it back. So it's now, you see, it's back because we have said, come back. So there's so much Aisha can do on here. Then if eventually Aisha is supporting herself or an agency staff is supporting her and she can't go through all the benefits in one go, or she wants to come and look at it subsequently. What Aisha can do is, you see, like I said earlier, she can save this as PDF into her computer or into her system. Then or it can be printed out using this link here, or she can save this URL, so you can save this URL by pressing this and put an email here. For instance, I can put my email. Yeah, let me put my email. And so you can put, if Aisha is working by herself, she can put her own email. Or if you're an agency staff supporting Aisha, you can put your email and Aisha's email, and send it to yourself and to Aisha. And so it's saved. The URL is saved. So subsequently, when Aisha wants to use this tool, Aisha will just take the link and open it up, and it will bring her straight to the 41 benefits that has been generated. So she doesn't have to start afresh. And for instance, if you're an agency staff supporting Aisha and other people, the tool is done such a way you can see declare my session um, uh, after every use of the tool. You need to clear the session to use it again. Otherwise, it will keep showing up the benefits for the previous person. you know so that's why it's important to, after you help a client, you save the URL, with you and with the client. And also the same thing with an individual user. It's always good to have a URL, so when you come back, you just put your URL and you find the already existing benefits that have been generated for you, and you can then continue exploring which benefits will be eligible. Then something very important is that we notice people need is the help, the help icon here. So it's you can either use the help icon just below on the lower part of the right lower end of the tool, or the top middle part of the tool. So this help section directs Aisha or any of the end users or community users to partner agencies, or agencies in their province that can help with benefits application. So Aisha might need to make inquiries concerning how she can go about completing any benefit forms, making the applications. So subject to where she's located, we have partners in all the province, and you can find them using the help link, and Aisha can contact them, and all the interesting thing is that all the agents or agencies listed on our help page are free, so they'll offer you their services for free. Any assistance you need, just contact them. We have a couple of agencies that Aisha, can contact. So she's not left alone, without support. Then something else that it's important here. I should have mentioned it earlier. You can also access the tool in French. So we have a French version on here. Then we have the agency portal. So on the agency portal, we have a couple of tools, like Janet is going to introduce this tool to you. It's a new tool that we have just put together. It's called the Bridge to Benefits. It's a support tool, that can help with assessing benefits or coaching people on how to become financially empowered. Then other tools on this agency portal is you can get trainings, so get free trainings, and we have a recorded we did a webinar, something similar to what we're having today. We had it in 2022, so you can also at your own spare time, come here. It's in French and English, and watch this webinar, something similar to this, on how to use the Benefit Wayfinder. Like I said, there are a lot of features on this tool, but for time, I've gone through most of it. But yeah, if you maybe want to get more understanding on how it works, you can come here. There's recording here in English and French. It's very good. Then also we have this resource that further explains who the Benefit Wayfinder is suited for. So here we listed out the starting points like we have mentioned before. So these starting points apply to people who are best suited to come and use the Benefit Wayfinder and find benefits that will be useful to them. Then we have, like we said, filing taxes are key to being able to assess benefits, right? So we have this tool here. From this link, you can find services that tax clinics that can support you with filing taxes. A lot of people don't know that even if they are not earning, or they are out of job, or for whatever the circumstance, you are allowed to file taxes. And some people don't know that there are places, if you qualify, you can file your taxes for free. So this resource here will direct you to applicable agencies that can support you with free taxing and tax advice. Because taxing is very, very, filing taxes, it's key to being able to assess benefits. Then we have other resources here. This is called the action plan. This is a template that supports clients with organizing how they apply for benefits. So this is something I also advise. You can print it out, and it will help Aisha, and her support workers be able to organize and keep track of the different benefits that they might be applying for. On here again is another very interesting tool. It's called your Trove. So your Trove, it's another tool you can find on our web page, a Prosper Canada web page. This tool helps with budgeting, tax filing, and helps to tackle the stubborn part of debts. Helps you to manage your debts. So I also advise we look at that. Yes, then there's this other tool we have here, a guide to key benefits. This subject to your province, there are key benefits that might be applicable to you. So this link here, if you go on it, it will take you straight to a list of key benefits. It's a very, very interesting tool that gives you a quick glance of which benefit you might be applicable for, or eligible for, subject to the province where you stay. So it cuts away all these, all the cheese, and takes you straight to which benefits subject to your province, which key benefits that are available in your province, just in case you are not accessing them already. So it's a very, very useful resource. And yeah, there are so many features here, but for time, this is where we can get to for now. But yeah, and at any time, if you're an agency staff or you're an organization and you want to help us share this tool, you can come on here, and through your IT department, you can share our um, uh, postcards with other organizations. So yeah, at this point, yeah, I would hand over to Janet to introduce the disability compass. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, David. And Marion asked if there's any additional promotional materials available, and we'll include that in the link for the post-webinar email. We do have postcards and a poster that we can share with you, digital ones that you can download and print, and we'll soon also have a one-pager, which we'll be able to share. So I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to take you through a very quick overview of the Disability Benefits Compass. So David, you can see my screen okay? Okay, great. Thank you.
Yes, I can see it. Sorry.
Great. That's okay. Thank you, David. As you'll see, it looks very similar in style to the Benefits Wayfinder, and we consider this to be a companion tool to the Wayfinder. But the difference is that this one is focusing on 4 key disability benefits. And the reason is that, as we mentioned earlier, disability benefits can be far more complex in terms of the application process due to the number of steps involved and the number of medical practitioners that you might need to include to complete the medical forms. So this one was designed by people living with a disability and partners in British Columbia, and it has since been expanded to include all the provinces and territories in Canada, and was recently launched back in November of 2023 or 2022. And similar to the Wayfinder, you'll see that there's a drop down where you can select your province or territory, and we'll use Ontario for today's session. It's also being thoroughly accessibility reviewed and has features in it that have been requested by those who think it would make it easier. And one example is a light dark mode for visible acuity. It also is available like the Benefit Wayfinder in English and French. And at this point, we don't have any plans to include other languages, but it's something that we have noted that others have suggested would be nice to have. Similar to the Wayfinder, it has a help button on every page and the help up here. And it also will show organizations that will provide free help for that province or territory on that particular benefit. So very similar to the Wayfinder in that anyone that we put in here are fee free. So we don't put anyone in here that's going to be charging yourself or your clients anything to get help. Similar to the Wayfinder, it has these little boxes. In the Wayfinder, it's like a green color, but in here it's blue. And it'll tell you any important information that you should read first before proceeding. As I mentioned, there's 4 key benefits in here. So it has the Canada Disability Plan Disability Benefit, Disability Tax Credit, and Registered Disability Savings Plan. And then in addition, it'll have whatever the unique provincial or territorial benefit assistance for disability in here. And what's different about this from the Wayfinder is I'll go into the disability tax credit as an example. you'll see that it still has like the introduction. It'll tell you a little bit about the thing. It'll have what important information to consider first. And in this particular case, and for all of the benefits in here, it's talking about if you don't have a nurse or doctor or medical practitioner, you will definitely need to get one before you even proceed. And we have a link here that'll go and give you a link to find out where to find a doctor or a medical practitioner by province and territory. So similar to the Wayfinder, it does have the introduction, the eligibility, how to apply. And in this case, it has an after you apply session, because a lot of times those who might be familiar with disability benefits, there's a high instance of denial upon the first and maybe even second and third submission. So we want to make sure people are aware that it's not the end of the road. If you're denied, there are steps you can take after a denial to either provide additional information on your medical form or other. As well, after you apply, if you're accepted, what needs to be done, because in some cases you might have to ensure that your status as living with a disability is up to date for some benefits. We also have frequently asked questions and resources. So what's unique about this site is that it has, we worked with experts in each province and territory who support people getting these benefits. And we've included in here things such as frequently asked questions that people have encountered at each step of the process, tips on what kind of challenges they might expect and how to overcome them. Also resources that either our partners have created or other resources that they have found to be useful at different steps of the process. And that has all been put into here. So I'm just going to quickly show you how it's navigated. As you see in this very first step, which is the introduction, it'll have any frequently asked questions that those who have done this process many times have encountered. And we've put them in here with the answers. When you go to the eligibility, similar to the Wayfinder, all the links are live and will go directly to the government site for more clarification if needed, or just to see the source. Again, any questions and answers at this step, any particular tips that the experts have suggested, and the people also who have living with a disability who have participated in helping create this. And then when you go to the apply, whereas the Wayfinder will link you to the government site to apply, here will take you step by step how to apply. And so it's done very user-friendly. So as an example, step 1, do you have a Form T2201 to fill out and sign? So if you say yes, in any case, it's always going to bring you to the next step in the process. If you say no, or I'm not sure, it's going to tell you exactly what you need to do and where to go, and with all the live links to get that. And then if there's any tips that those who have helped us create this have come in terms of filling out the forms, we've put that in here as well as the frequently asked questions. So I'm just going to go down below. What's also unique is we have what's called resource cards. And again, these are resources that those who have helped us develop this website have provided, and we have the links going to all of these resources. And they're resources per step of the way. So just to give you an example, one is how to find a doctor or nurse practitioner, because that was turns out to be one of the key barriers to disability benefits, is not having a dedicated medical practitioner who knows the person's situation and how it impacts their daily life, and then how to demonstrate that to those who are assessing the application of how that's impacting them. Another one is how can you help your medical practitioner complete the DTC medical form, the disability tax credit? And this is a really amazing tool that our partner Disability Alliance BC and some other of their partners work together to create, which is a step-by-step form where the person can go in, or if you're helping them, put all the different elements of their living with their disability, and it'll print out at the end a beautiful sheet to give to the doctor to help them fill out the form that will show exactly how their lives are being impacted. So really neat stuff. Again, if your DTC application is denied, what to do. So I'm just going to quickly go forward. So after you apply, as mentioned, it'll tell you what to expect, how long is it going to take, and then importantly, if you're approved, what should you be considering? And if you're denied, what are your options and what should you do? And then all of the frequently asked questions that are step by step are consolidated at the very end. So if someone just wants to take a quick look at what kind of questions come up during this process, they can just jump to here, or they can also go to the resources that are available. And they're all in here. And as mentioned, if they go to the help is by benefit, and it'll show who they could contact in that province or territory if they had any questions or if they want to inquire about getting help filling out the form. So I know this is very quickly going through, but we also have a caption video that our partners at Disability Alliance BC wrote and filmed, which talks about the benefits, the federal benefits, and website instructions. I'm just going to see if there's anything else. Excuse me. And as mentioned, you don't have to register or sign up. You can just go through it and print as you like. You can go back and forth between the Benefit Wayfinder and this tool. And for those key disability benefits that are in the Wayfinder, there's a link that they can go to come to this site if they would like to go through in a deeper dive. So I know that was super fast, but just wanted to make sure that you could see what the compass was about and what kind of features it has. So now I'm going to go back to our presentation. And we're going to talk about how you can use the Benefits Wayfinder either by yourself or with community members. So as mentioned, it can be used by someone who has the desire or the technology or the the interest to go in by themselves. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I have a tickle suddenly in my throat. So they can use it by themselves, and they can go in and go through as you saw with the 4 different ways that you can use the Wayfinder. Excuse me. Also, you can use it in an organization as a training tool. So you can bring new staff up to speed quickly to be aware of what benefits exist by letting them go through themselves the Wayfinder to understand under those different starting points what kind of benefits are there. You can also use it with community members. So it's probably best for people who have not tax filed, because as you know, a lot of the benefits to get to them, you have to have filed your taxes. So they can go through and see what benefits they might be able to get by clicking that link that David showed you that said, I have not filed my taxes, and seeing what benefits, if they had filed their taxes, what they could get. But if someone has filed their taxes, they might be disappointed if they go through and they don't see anything new come up. But the angle you can use it with is saying it's a benefits checkup. So going through to make sure that they are in fact aware of and receive all the benefits that they're entitled to. So more of a checkup than a new sort of exploration. Also, you can have that as a segue to money conversations. So if you're running a tax clinic, I know the main tax sessions have completed, but if you do them throughout the year or for next year, if you're doing a tax clinic, you could, some of our partners that have piloted this in tax clinics, they found it worked best when they had a dedicated benefit navigator on site, so that the tax filers, once they finished, they could refer those clients who were interested to that benefit navigator. And then they could either have a dedicated space at the tax clinic to sit down one-on-one to go through the benefit wayfinder with them, or they could schedule a follow-up appointment separate from the tax clinic at a future date. And again, some of the tips that those who have done this and piloted it have given us is essentially to, like I said, have a dedicated person who is going to be that benefit navigator for your clients. Make sure that you do have a way to capture who would be interested in either meeting on site or later. And also make sure you allot at least an hour to sit down with the person in a secure and comfortable place, because it really takes a minimum of an hour to walk through. As you saw David doing the demo with Aisha, it takes time to go through the questions and really explore that dashboard, especially if there's a lot of benefits that have come up that they might be eligible for. You might also want to consider a case management system if you begin scheduling multiple sessions. Sorry about that. My tickle has continued. So now I'm just going to tell you a few training opportunities and courses that you might be interested in. We have this new tool called the Bridge to Benefits tool, and you can go to that link that you see that you'll have access to. And this provides information for organizations who are considering starting or refining or expanding the work that they're currently doing in access to benefits services. So it has 4 steps for people to go through. So learning about benefits, applying for benefits, getting benefits, and maintaining benefits. And it can also be available from the agency portal that David showed you in the Benefits Wayfinder. And then for online training, we also have, at a very low cost, just over $56, a Foundation of Access to Benefits course, which can help you gain the essential knowledge that you need and the skills to be able to support your community members with access to benefits. And it takes about 3 to 4 hours to complete, and is delivered through a self-directed online learning modules. And you can sign up for it, and then you have about 6 weeks after you register to complete it. And you'll get at the end a certificate of completion. You'll have a practitioner guide to help support your use of the tool. And you'll also have access to other Prosper Canada training that we have available. So next we have, I think, about 9 minutes left if you have any questions for David and I. You can either put them in the chat, or if you'd like to come off mic, off mute, you can ask your question. One of the questions we do get a lot is, how often is the data kept up to date? Because you don't want to be referring people to information that's not current. But we do twice a year a full review of all the benefits in both tools to ensure that they are in sync with what the source has. And that was just recently done. And I'd suggest you go to the Prosper Canada learning site. You can see other courses that are available free of charge that are in relation to financial empowerment as well. Anything else, David, that you'd like to share?
No, except they have questions. Yeah, if they have any questions, yeah.
Jenny, our colleague on the learning and training team, who's helping with our behind the scenes today, mentioned in the chat that that the Learning Hub, the Prosper Canada Learning Hub, has just recently been updated. So that's something that we advise that you check out. And maybe Jenny will show the next page, which has our contact information. So you can go here to our Prosper Canada site and see what else we have available. And if you're not already signed up for our newsletter, please do, because it is a daily newsletter on all topics financial empowerment related that might be of interest to you. As well, you see there the Prosper Canada online training link as well. And I should mention that we do have a dedicated email, Benefits Wayfinder at prospercanada.org, where you can send questions on as you're using the tool, or you have clients who are using it and have questions. We monitor that weekly and answer all questions that come in. So please feel free. And even if you have any suggestions, like was suggested earlier, in terms of tweaking the tool, we're always constantly looking to improve upon it. So any suggestions you have as you go through is most appreciated. As well, if you or you know of any other organization that would like to offer their services in any of the aspects that we've mentioned in benefits, we can take a look and add you to that help listing of organizations by province and territories. And thank you, Tom, for your feedback. And also, too, if you do start using it and you find different ways of using it besides what we've noted, we'd also love to hear that too, because we can share that with others as well. So maybe we'll give it another minute or so, and if we don't have any more questions, then we'll give you back a couple of minutes. And as mentioned, we will make the recording available for you, as well as the presentation. And I'll also make sure we include in there the digital postcard and posters, which you can use to share as well. Thank you for your attendance, and thank you so much for your feedback as well. And appreciate you joining today.